Hi guys, this is Wireheadking, and today I'm giving you part 4 of the prison tutorial series. In this one, we're going to be carrying on with adding shaders to everything. If you remember from the last part, we gave shaders to all the big objects, so the floor, the walls, ceiling, balcony, the railings. But we need to give shaders to everything else as well. So this is what it looks like in rendered view, and as you can see, we've got all these white fireflies appearing everywhere. These can be annoying, these will stick around till the very end if we don't get rid of them. So the best way to get rid of them, I find, is if we come over to the render settings up here, scroll down to sampling, which is here. As you can see, we have a clamp direct and a clamp indirect. If we set both of these to 1, then we will get this result. And what this does is the fireflies are still there, it's just they're not as visible because we've clamped them, so they can't go over a specific value. In this case it's 1. So yeah, there we go. Okay, let's get on with the shaders. So I'm going to start off with the staircase, which I think has the cell frame material, so this is going to get quite a lot of stuff done. Yeah, okay. So far all we've got is a diffuse. We don't want this, we want the glossy shader. And if you remember from the previous tutorial, if you haven't seen it, then I'll just re-explain it in detail just now. But we did a lot of things just with glossy, just playing around with the roughness. And we're going to do the same with this. So if we go for a texture, go for an image texture, and choose the one that we used earlier. Again, link will be included in the description. By the way, if I forget any links, just post a comment and I'll get round to it pretty much instantly, probably. So yeah, okay, so we've loaded up this texture. If we throw this into the roughness of the glossy, then as you can see, some areas are showing up as glossy, some areas aren't. The way we can increase the contrast of this is if we go to RGB curves. We can now play around with what's glossy and what's not based on this texture. So for example, if we want pretty much everything to be glossy, we just bring this all the way down and we're just going to get pure gloss out of this, but we don't want that. We want quite a lot of it to be quite rough. So if we leave it up there and just drag this down to about there, then what this should do is give us kind of like a reasonable kind of gloss amount just over everything. Okay, something like that. But this is too pale. We want to use a darker color, like a sort of black metal. So what we're going to do is just go to shader, diffuse, and normally what we do is we would just change the color of the glossy, but I find that doesn't want to work with these objects. I failed in a recording just now trying to do that, and apparently doesn't want to work. It did in my old one, but not in this one. So if we use a mix shader, put the glossy in the bottom and put the diffuse in the top. Set the diffuse to a black, by the way, just maybe near black but not quite black. Okay, and then throw this output into the surface like that. What we're now getting is a mixture between this really dark grey and this gloss. So if we just lower the factor to a 0.2, then we're getting more grey than gloss, and that's looking fine. So, you know, I mean, it's not looking ultra realistic, but the staircase is going to be hidden by this fog, and really all that's going to show up of it is the highlights. You can barely see the dark parts of the staircase, and you know, the cell framing and sort of up close parts, because they're really small chunks of metal, there you go. I mean, they look fine, and even if they didn't, these are tiny details, so it's okay. Alright, so let's move on to the bars, and these are very similar to the cell frame. In fact, I'm half tempted to just use the same material, although I mean, we've got bars. We could give it a go. Where are the which material is actually given to the bars, or is it just none of them? Ah, they'll have the balcony material at the moment, so that's a bit weird. So let's just get rid of that, and well, no, apply cell frame and then just hide the, or get rid of the balcony thing. So okay, Let's take a look at what that looks like. Ooh, material, no, rendered. That's looking, once it loads, it's looking okay, although I think we want to make a few adjustments. So if we come over here and just click on this, then call this bars, we can now make the changes that we need. So first of all, the texture is going to look a bit weird, because if we look at texture shading, oh actually it's looking okay. I thought it would look a bit weird. Let's just see what they look like. Too glossy, I think. What's the material look like? Yeah. If we sort of increase this a little bit, like so, maybe that will look a bit better. But right now they're too glossy. They're supposed to look, you know, grungy, quite horrible looking. But yeah, they look too nice here. So one other thing I might do is throw this into the color of the gloss, and then increase this factor amount, like so. In fact, yeah, just use the gloss. We don't need the mix shader for the bars. And we could also throw this into the displacement, except maybe not as much. In fact, I think a normal map might work better for this. So if we add in a go to vector bump, normal goes in there, color goes into the height, and the strength comes down to 0.05 or something really small, so it's barely visible. Okay, that's the bars done. We're actually going pretty quickly through this. Make sure that the bars over here also have the same material. Let's just get rid of all those. So let's do bars, and then if we just select this and then this, to do that you just hold shift and select, then select this one at the end here, press Ctrl L and choose materials. What that will then do is give them the same materials, although you might apparently need to assign them in edit mode. Okay, and let's just hide or get rid of them off of it. We don't need them. Okay, cool. While we're here, we may as well do the materials for these other little bits. And by the way, I think I mentioned this in part 1 or 2. If when you're trying to rotate around your scene, it's not really focusing on what you want, because you know you're all the way out here, it's pretty useless. If you just press the full stop on the del key on your number pad, then it will just focus on the origin point of the objects that you're looking at. Okay, so for the broken glass, we're just going to use a glass shader, which is right, where is it? There it is. Now normally I wouldn't recommend using just glass. There's this whole thing with light paths and whatever, but these pieces are so small and insignificant, this is okay, although I might just lower the colour to stop them from bouncing light everywhere. Okay, with the rock, has this been unwrapped? Nope. Well, press U, hit unwrap, it's now been unwrapped. With this, we can probably get away with just using the balcony texture for this, I think. And for the rat poo, this is fairly simple. As you can imagine, just, you know, really dark brown. I looked on Google Images for this, and I got a friend who's got gerbils, and they say that their poo is pretty dark as well. Or maybe it's their poo. Actually, their poo really varies in colour. Sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's like orange. Really depends. But yeah, rats have really dark poo. Okay. So yeah, there we go. And let's go for a texture, and we're going to go for a noise check. Yeah, noise texture. Throw the colour right into the displacement, because you know poos are all lumpy and stuff, and I'm assuming it's the same for rodents. And you know, I don't, you know, I'm not an expert on rodent poo, but I'm gonna guess it's the same. Or well, you know, I doubt it's. Actually, there could be smooth little blobs for all I know. But anyway, it's such a small, tiny little part of the scene. If we get this wrong, then no one's gonna notice. Let's just zoom in a bit there. I can barely see this. That's another thing. It just reminded me let's throw a bit of gloss on this. Let's make them look fresh. Alright, because, you know, fresh rat poo. Who doesn't want that in their scene? Okay, there we go. Let's bring that roughness down, make it nice and sharp. Bring down the factor there, don't want it to look that fresh. Somewhere around there should be fine. Okay, cool. And that's everything? Pretty sure that's everything over here. If we come back over here, if we just take a look at what we've got now, we should have something that's beginning to get good. Let's have the entire thing render, preferably. Okay. Yep, that's working. If we zoom in, let's go full screen. Yep, everything down here is rendering like it should be. The only thing that needs materials now are the cells and the lights, I believe. I think everything else has been done. You know what though, I might change the clamping values a bit, because I think we've missed out on quite a bit of gloss. So clamping direct, let's set that to 3. There we go. In fact, how high can this go before it gets a bit... Oh right, I see. Well, 1 is... Wait, what about clamp direct? That's good. Okay, let's set the clamp direct to 0, because that doesn't seem to be giving us too many fireflies at all, but it's giving us our gloss around here, so that's good. Okay, I'm also thinking maybe we should increase the gloss on the balcony just a bit. Just, you know, the tiniest bit. Let's see, we're on the balcony, good. Okay, so to do that, we just increase this to a whiter colour. I mean, don't go full white, otherwise it will look unrealistic, just, you know, up there. Although, it's not looking too bad like that. But yeah, just be, you know, moderate with your glossiness on the balcony. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, let's go on with the cells. Oh, and then the windows. Now, well, the windows, we can just give these a normal bars materials, yeah. And let's just chop off those bits and see if we can link all of the... Wait, which one was it? It's that one. Okay, that's the one that we want to select at the end. But yeah, we're just going to go through every single bar, just selecting all of them. And then this one at the end, Control L, materials. And of course it doesn't want to assign them. So now we have to go through each thing and just assign the material. In fact, would it be easier to just remove all the ones that aren't the bars? Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, remove all the materials that aren't the bars material on each of these. And what this will do is give it all the right material. And the outer part of the window, that's just got the cell frame, so that's already been done, so that's okay. But yeah, once we've done this, we can get straight on the cells, and then we're good to go with the rendering, actually. I misjudged this part of the tutorial completely. I thought we would... Oh wait, no, I need to do the ivy next, actually, but yeah. Yeah, I completely misjudged the timing. I thought this would take a very long time, but apparently not. So, cells. This is very similar to the materials we've already done for things if we tick use nodes then. Okay. So, yeah, if we just take a look at what we've got. There we go. Okay, so what we've got is this diffuse. Now, this isn't really particularly good, so what we're going to do is throw in a glossy shader. I'm sure some of you are probably a step ahead, you were expecting this. You weren't wrong. Okay, if we go to texture, image texture, and just throw in this roughness. Okay, put this roughness color into the roughness of the glossy, and we can just do the RGB curves, not mix RGB, the RGB curves. There we go. And I'm thinking for this, it's going to need to be quite rough because, you know, it's some concrete walls. We can't be too nice. Okay, so if we increase this, I think, to somewhere like up there, what we should get is a lot of roughness. And oh, this is going straight into the colour. We want this to be in the roughness here. Okay. Alright, that's looking okay actually. What can we do to improve? I think, oh yeah, in the original these were slightly green because in my original reference image I was basing it off of a prison that had green walls for all the cells. Like the prison wasn't like run down, I was just using it as like a prison to recreate and then destroy. And make various adjustments, like one staircase was over on this side and this wasn't a window, there were pipes going, oh yeah, screw it, we can make these pipes in this part actually, I forgot to include them. Oh, and we haven't added materials to the lights either. Okay, we might be able to squeeze all this into half an hour. Alright, so yeah, if we just make this slightly green, but not too green, kind of like the sort of green that the ceiling is, just as dark. Maybe a bit lighter, maybe slightly on the yellower side. Brighter. And I think this also might need a normal map. So if we throw this in, oh well, if we throw this into the displacement. Okay, yeah, displacement works. If we then go to color, brightness, contrast, and then just set the contrast to -0.5, then yeah, that sorted that out. One thing I have noticed though is there's this like bright spot that's just repeating down all the cells, and that's going to be quite obvious. So what I'm going to do is with this, I think it's all unwrapped. Wait, did I have the bars selected? I'm supposed to have the cell selected. Okay, that's weird. It's still working though, so I'm not complaining. Okay, if we go to input texture coordinate and then vector mapping, throw that down there, throw this in here. If we set the scale to a 0.5 on all of these, then what that should do is just increase the size of the texture that's being used, and hopefully, yeah, the little bright spot's been removed, so that's good. One last thing is I think I might just increase the brightness of this just a bit, quite a lot maybe, and then just make it a little bit more closer to white, so something like that works well. Okay, not too bad I don't think. I'm kind of missing how thick these walls were for the cells, but might be a bit too late. Yeah, I think it's a bit too late. But in fact, actually no, they got the right kind of thickness in some areas. Let's see, if we zoom in over here. No, we could definitely work with this. I mean, the main reason why I missed it is because, or the main reason why I'd rather it be these thick is because these reflections were really cool. This is like my favourite part of, and these over here, I really like these reflections. I mean, I like the floor reflections as well, but I quite like them, and they're not going to be too visible now that the walls are as thin as they are. So if we take a look at this, there we go, they're appearing here, so that's okay. Is there a way to fatten them up a bit? I guess we could select every side wall in the cells. In fact, yeah, let's do that. If we go into front view, go into wireframe, and just box select all of these side walls in the cells, like so, and then if we, and this is risky, but if we press Alt S, oh no, that's horrible. If we select all the back panels as well, I think that might work. So again, box select them. Alright, and now if we go for individual origins, we might, if we scale them down on the y-axis, we might be able to make the cells thinner. Apparently it's working on some of them, but not the... It's not working on the downstairs cells for some reason. It's working on these middle cells. That's interesting. Is it... Ah. Wait, what about if I did it on the... Okay. Wait, are there doubles? Or was that just while I was doing that? Let's see. Remove... Doubles... It's not there. There it is. Yeah, loads of doubles apparently. Alright, yeah, let's just leave it how it is. I think that'll be fine actually. We'll get used to it. Okay, so cell walls have been done. Let's move on to the lights. Lights are really easy, so this should be fun, okay? If we... Oh, well, we've actually got the two materials. With the lampshade, we're just going to make this some generic dark colour, like that. Throw in a bit of gloss. Not even gloss with roughness, just gloss. Mix shader. And we want more gloss, just because... ooh. Oh, right. There we go. Yeah, look up here. Yep, that's pretty good. I'm thinking for the lamp glass, what I did was, if I remember correctly, I used the... I think I actually used the glass shader, which has vanished. There it is. Okay, that goes into the surface. As you can see, that's way too reflective. It's the only thing that remained clean in this entire prison, and that's just not good enough. So if we bring out our roughness texture and throw this into the roughness of the glass and set this to like a 1.2 or something. I don't even think that'll make a difference. In fact, no, we'll leave it at 1.52 because I think that's the actual glass IOR in real life. We'll see. But yeah, if we throw in some RGB curves and just make some nice strong contrast, then if we maybe push it over a bit. Okay, something like that. Alright, and then we just change the colour of this to like some manky brownish colour. Might increase the roughness a bit. It's a bit too reflective, somewhere around there. Okay. Yeah, if you make this maybe less saturated, just a bit darker. There we go. In fact, you know, we don't even have to make it that dark. We can make it quite bright, actually. Just, you know, a bit of grime up there looks good. And the lampshade, I'm thinking too much gloss, because I can just clearly see them. Okay. So yeah, there we go. That's the lamps done. Nice. Right. Okay. So I think that's everything. The chair inside the cell. I didn't give it a wait, did I give it a texture? If we just make it some dark brown sort of colour like that. I mean, they're barely going to be noticeable, so I think that's okay. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Alright, so that's the shading done, I think. How long did that take? Not long at all. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope I did all the shading. If not, we can just go back to it. But yeah, we're pretty much there. If you've got this far, then well, once we get the ivy done, then this should be looking great. So yeah, thanks for watching. I guess make sure to like the video, and goodbye.